Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your host, Dan Hafner here, the host, founder of the Run Your Day podcast and the Run Wage app. I'm really excited to come back with you guys. I know it has been a while, and I'll get into why it's been a while here, but I just want to welcome you all back to the show. For those of you that haven't heard of an episode here in a while, just decided to come back here. And for those of you that are just binge listening, this really makes no difference to you. So, man, I'm excited to be back. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been almost a month, honestly. And I was even listening to the latest episodes of the show here, and I know I said I'd be back tomorrow, and that never happened. So, basically, it's been a month. It's been a month, my friends. It has been, it's been a lot going on. A lot of things have changed. A lot of successes, a lot of failures, a lot of setbacks, just a lot going on, which is why I tabled the show for a while, without even telling you guys. I'm really, really sorry about that. But, life comes first, right? You gotta figure the things out in front of you, and sometimes you just have to put things aside. And I don't want to say that's my lesson for the day or anything, but basically, the first thing that happened that was really cool, I don't know if any of you guys had known, with the situation in my life, was we're living here in West Virginia for my wife's job. And she's going into a different specialty. She's in the medical field, and we found out that we're going to be moving to Hershey, Pennsylvania, of all places here. If some of you listen to the old shows, I did some of the shows from the places we were interviewing at, or she was interviewing at, over the fall, when I was touring around with her and going, after I had quit my job and decided to just travel around with her. So we got placed in Hershey. Which is really, really exciting. We're excited about it. It's going to be really fun. We're excited for the next chapter. We're going to be moving there this summer. So I'm sure there'll be a break around the summertime for the show as well, with all the moving, different things we have going on. But I'm trying to be back. I'm trying to be back for good. And I know we're not going to do, definitely not going to be able to do this show every day. But I'm going to try to do once a week, once, maybe twice. I definitely have found some more things to say, to talk about, some more material to work through with you guys. I know I never even finished my entire saga. I actually have a lot left of that. So I'm definitely going to continue that with you guys, of how I got where I got. And really what kind of inspired me today to come back was a meeting I had with one of my mentors. I wouldn't say a mentor, but somebody that I've followed for a while that's been at a whole new level. And I actually was lucky enough to get 30 minutes for free to ask him pretty much anything that I wanted. And I got a lot of value out of that. And I learned, I not only learned a ton from him, but I learned a lot about myself in the process. And it was only 30 minutes. But there was a combination of things. Like I had listened, like I said, I had listened to some of the old shows that I had done leading up to the end, and just kind of thought, like there's some unexplored things here. Like there's definitely a lot of rabbit holes I left unexplored, and a lot I had left to say. So I know one thing that has really I've really struggled with, and that's kind of plagued this show, has been my consistency, and I will fully acknowledge that. There's times where I did it every day and I did it well, and then things were good, and then there were times I just fell off, just like this time, without telling you guys or doing anything, really with no reason. So I'm going to be better about that. Like definitely moving into 2020 here. I know it's even a late start. It's about the middle of January already. But the other thing that's kind of transpired in my life over the past month since I stopped with the podcast was I learned, I got really, really clear on where I want to go in my life. Like, I've never been so clear on my direction and what I want to do and why I want to do it. And this was this was a process to go through. This was something that that took a lot of soul searching, a lot of like just being alone, taking time to myself. I spent a lot of the day, like a lot of the time driving, just kind of thinking, pondering, journaling, meditating. Just it's been a month of some serious digging. And luckily, I have that experience now to talk to you guys about, and how I went through all that, why I went through all of it, and ultimately what came out of it. So, yeah, it's been a really interesting time. I know with the holidays and travel and everything, it was really, really hard to keep up with stuff. But, with some of the new habits that I've got in place in my life and the new direction that I'm going, I still think that there's a place for this, at least for the Run Your Day podcast, in a capacity for more of a weekly show. Like I said, something that's not going to be every single day, but is definitely going to have the same content, the same power, the same motivation, the same inspiration as ever before. So I'm excited. I really am. I learned for a while there in the fall that I had just and I tend to be this. I just was talking to my wife about this. I tend to be someone that just kind of bites off more than I can chew, which in cases is good. In some cases in life, it's not good. It screws you up, and it keeps you from doing anything well. I'm reminded of a quote by the great Ron Swanson. If any of you have seen Parks and Rec, one time tells Leslie Knope, never half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing, right? And I never took that to heart, because I realized that was part of the process I went through over the past month, was realizing that I was biting off more than I could chew in too many areas. And you'd be amazed at what happens when you just stop doing so many things. You can actually succeed in one thing. And it sounds obvious, right? But it's really powerful, and it's really true. And I found it out firsthand, firsthand in my life, like just by stopping many of the things that I just found to not be productive, not to get me what I wanted, not to move me towards my goals that I just, in some story in my head, thought were moving me forward. Just stopping those actions, like, has accelerated me forward more than I ever thought possible. So it's exciting stuff, and I hope that as you listen to this, you can even get some gems from this episode. I know it's not continuing on with the chapters that I had set out before. I'll start that up in the next one, but just kind of wanted to fill you in on the gap and bridge the gap here of these episodes, and just kind of I know I've revealed some of my my more vulnerable sides and some of the shit that I deal with on a a mental basis and a personal basis every day. But for a long time I thought, if I don't get up and I don't do this podcast and I don't do it every day, I'm failing. Like I'm failing if I don't do this. And I just realized that's not true. Like it's not true. Yes, I had a long break. Yes, it'll be hard to regain some of the listeners that, you guys, if you come back and you listen to this, I really, really appreciate you. Because, obviously when you lose consistency, you lose membership, you lose audience. And then I realized, what, that's okay. Like, that's okay. If you get value out of this show and you like listening to me, you like listening to some of the guests I've had on here, like, you'll come back. And that's great. And if you decide not to, and you decide that, Dan's not consistent enough, Dan doesn't provide the same value he used to, Dan's just kind of off the hinges talking about stupid bullshit, then you can stop listening, and that's fine too. It's perfectly fine. Like I've learned to move on from needing validation from anyone but me for any of the things that I do. Like, just not giving a shit whether you like the show, whether I'm saying the right things, whether I'm being politically correct, whether whatever. Like, I don't need anyone's validation except my own. And that's been one of the biggest things when I sat back and realized what happened to me in 2019 and what I went through and what I achieved was that pretty much internal victory was just moving on and graduating from the need for external validation. And maybe you're in that place. Maybe you don't realize it. Maybe you do need external validation from somebody or yourself or, a part of you, someone in your past, a friend, a boss, coworker. Unconsciously, you might not even know it. But once you move past that, once you learn to just be like, you know what? If I don't do something, the world's not going to end. If I do something, the world's not going to end. Like, in the scheme of things, we're all just kind of tiny dots on this earth. And even though you think something that you do makes a big impact, it probably doesn't make the size of the impact that you think it's going to make. And once I started to realize that, I started to realize, okay, it's okay if I do these things and I need to get my things straight and I need to do what I need to do to take care of me because I'm the most important person in my life, right? So now I'm just starting to ramble. I know I'm getting there, but I'm just trying to really convey to you guys, like, the past month is really, I've always had it in the back of my mind that I hadn't been doing the podcast, and but I'm excited to get back into it, and I'm really looking forward to at least coming on, and I think coming on like maybe once, maybe twice a week is going to be a lot more valuable. The shows might be a tiny bit longer, like these ones, maybe even 15-20 minutes, since they're going to be less, but I'll definitely have some deeper things, some extra things to talk about, and I think you're going to get a lot more value out of it, even more so than we used to. So again, I'm excited. I appreciate you guys. If any of you come back and listen to this, like I said, I know it's been a while, but we're going to continue with the saga of Dan Hafner on the next episode. I'm going to talk about how I eventually went back to my old job and what happened there, and it was not pretty. Not pretty, my friends. So, all right. I appreciate you guys. As always, I love every single one of you. I don't even know you, but I love you. I thank you for listening to this show. Appreciate you joining in. All right, my friends. That's it. I will talk to you guys next time. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day.